Title: You Are Not Alone. Segment 1: Understanding the Darkness. When you're in the middle of depression, anxiety, or fear, it can feel like no one truly understands what you're going through. The world seems to move on while you're stuck in one place. But the first truth I want to offer you is this: you are not alone. These struggles are deeply human, and many others, myself included, have walked through them. The feelings of emptiness, restlessness, or dread do not make you broken or weak. They make you human. Let's start by understanding what depression really is. Depression is not simply sadness. It is a persistent weight that makes even the simplest tasks feel insurmountable. You might find it difficult to get out of bed, answer a text message, or even look in the mirror. This isn't laziness. It's the result of your brain and body trying to cope with internal pain. Anxiety, too, is often misunderstood. It's not just nervousness before a big event. It's the constant sense that something is wrong, that danger is imminent, even when everything appears fine. Your mind spins, your body reacts, and your sense of peace disappears. And then there is fear, the silent stalker of progress. Fear tells you not to try, not to speak, not to hope. It whispers that failure is inevitable and that isolation is safer. But fear lies. It thrives in silence and darkness, and the moment you begin to bring it into the light, it starts to lose its power. In this book, we'll explore your experiences, your mind, and your emotions with compassion and clarity. This isn't about fixing you because you are not broken. This is about supporting you through your journey. Segment 2: The Biology of Depression and Anxiety. Understanding what happens inside your brain and body during depression and anxiety can make the experience feel less confusing and more manageable. When you're depressed, key neurotransmitters, chemicals that help regulate mood, are often out of balance. These include serotonin, dopamine, and norepinephrine. You're not imagining it. Your brain is working differently. Stress plays a significant role in mental health. Chronic stress elevates cortisol, the stress hormone, which affects your brain structure and function. This explains why you might struggle with memory, concentration, and decision-making when you're anxious or depressed. What's important to remember is that these are not signs of personal failure. They are physical and chemical responses. And while they can be incredibly difficult, they can also be treated and managed with the right tools and support. We'll discuss therapy, medication, lifestyle changes, and self-care strategies in the coming sections. But for now, just know this: your struggle is valid. It's not all in your head in the dismissive way people sometimes say. It's in your brain, your body, and your heart, and you're not imagining it. Segment 3: Real Stories, Real Struggles. Let me introduce you to some people I've worked with over the years. Of course, their names and identities have been changed to protect their privacy, but their stories are real. Samantha was a high-achieving college student. On the outside, she had everything together. Inside, she was barely holding on. She couldn't explain why she felt so hopeless. She started missing classes, withdrawing from friends, and questioning whether she even wanted to continue living. Through therapy, she learned that her depression wasn't about her not being good enough. It was about unprocessed trauma, perfectionism, and a deep sense of inadequacy that had never been addressed. Then there's Raj, a young father who developed severe anxiety after his child was born. He would lie awake at night, heart pounding, certain something terrible would happen. His anxiety affected his marriage, his job, and his ability to enjoy fatherhood. He learned breathing techniques, mindfulness, and cognitive behavioral strategies to manage his intrusive thoughts. Over time, the grip of anxiety began to loosen. Stories like these matter, not because they're unique, but because they're common. Depression and anxiety don't discriminate. They affect the rich and poor, the successful and struggling, the young and old, and they are survivable. You are not alone in your suffering, and you won't be alone in your healing. Segment 4: Breaking the Shame. One of the most destructive aspects of mental illness is shame. The belief that we should be better, that we're failing, that if we just tried harder, thought more positively, or snapped out of it, we wouldn't feel this way. But let me tell you something important. Shame is not a cure. It is a trap. It keeps you silent, disconnected, and afraid. Shame says, don't reach out. They won't understand. But connection is exactly what you need. We are social beings. We are wired to connect, to empathize, to heal in community. There is no shame in struggling. There is no shame in asking for help. In fact, asking for help is a courageous act. It is a declaration that you believe in your worth, even if that belief is faint. That spark is enough to begin. We'll talk later about how to ask for help, what to say, who to turn to, and how to cope if the first person doesn't respond how you hoped. For now, just remember, your pain does not define your value. Segment 5, Tools for Healing, Part 1. Let's talk about what you can do right now, even in small steps, to start feeling better. These are not magic cures, but they are scientifically backed, experience tested, and soul-affirming practices that can help you take back some control. 1. Breath work. Deep breathing can shift your nervous system out of a fight or flight state. Try this. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 6. Repeat for 5 cycles. 2. Journaling. Putting your thoughts on paper helps you see them more clearly and reduces mental clutter. Write without judgment. Just get it out. 3. Movement. Even gentle movement, like stretching or walking, releases endorphins. You don't have to run a marathon. Just move your body in a way that feels kind. 4. Sleep hygiene. Sleep and mental health are deeply connected. Try to go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. Limit screens an hour before sleep. 5. Nutrition. Your brain needs fuel. A balanced diet won't cure depression, but nutrient deficiencies can worsen it. Aim for real, whole foods when possible. These tools are the beginning. There's more to explore, more layers to uncover. But for now, know this. You have power. You are not helpless. Segment 6. Tools for Healing, Part 2. 6. Connection. Isolating feels safe, but connection heals. Reach out to someone, a friend, family member, support group. Don't worry about having the perfect words. Just say, I'm struggling right now. 7. Therapy. Working with a therapist is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of commitment to yourself. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, dialectical behavioral therapy, DBT, and other modalities offer proven strategies for managing emotions. 8. Mindfulness and meditation. Mindfulness teaches you to notice your thoughts without becoming them. It allows space between the feeling and your reaction. Start small. 1 minute of focused breathing can shift your mindset. 9. Boundaries. You don't have to be everything to everyone. Learn to say no. Learn to rest. Protect your energy like it matters because it does. 10. Gratitude practice. This isn't about ignoring pain. It's about balancing it. Writing down 3 things you're grateful for on the hardest days can gently train your mind to see more than just darkness. You don't have to do all of these things at once. Pick one. Try it. Be gentle with yourself. Healing is not linear, and progress doesn't always look like forward motion. What matters is that you keep showing up. Segment 7. Building a support system. Healing doesn't happen in isolation. One of the greatest predictors of recovery is the presence of a support system. This doesn't have to be a large group. It can be 1 or 2 people who make you feel safe, seen, and supported. Think about the people in your life who listen without judgment, who accept you as you are, who don't try to fix you, but sit with you in your pain. These are your safe people. Let them in. Sometimes family isn't where support comes from, and that's okay. Support can come from friends, partners, therapists, spiritual communities, or even online groups. What matters is feeling connected. Don't be afraid to communicate what you need. Saying, I don't need advice, I just need someone to listen, is a powerful step in honoring your own needs. Remember, your emotions are valid, and your need for connection is real. Building your support network may take time. You might reach out and not get the response you hoped for. That's painful, but it doesn't mean you were wrong to reach out. Keep trying. The right connections can change your life. Segment 8, Rediscovering Hope. Hope can be a quiet voice. Sometimes it's barely a whisper, but it's there. Even when you can't see it clearly, even when everything feels heavy, it exists. You may not believe in hope today. That's okay. Borrow mine. I've seen people crawl out of darkness. I've seen healing happen in the tiniest of steps. I've seen lives transform, not in an instant, but in the day-to-day decision to keep going. Hope doesn't mean pretending everything is fine. It means holding space for the possibility that things can be different, that your story isn't over, that you matter. So take one more breath, one more step, one more chance. Not because you have all the answers, but because you deserve to see where this journey might lead. You are not alone.